Welcome to Harry Potter and the Anxious Millennials, a show where we delve week by week into each chapter of the Harry Potter series. Hello, Ari. How are you? Actually,
hello Adam. I'm fine.
And hello, Jack in the background.
Let me show little Jack, who is never in here for the recordings, but for some reason, he's here today.
The legend himself.
Your gunkle says hello.
Ari, how are you doing today?
Just great.
Yeah.
Can't complain, you know? The holiday cheer is in the air. It's been raining here.
Oh, sure. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been raining. Well, yesterday it was sunny, but the day before that was pouring rain. Today, pouring rain.
Well, my day was good. Thank you for asking, Ari.
Yeah, Adam, how was your day? We really want to know about what's going on with you. Please
Thank you so much. Just a lot going on. Yeah.
I just noticed.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on in your life. You rearranged.
Yeah, it was like this the other day.
Oh, I just didn't notice it.
Your gift has been ordered, Ariana, just so you know. And I really hope you like it.
I literally have your gift sitting outside of the frame on this table. And RJ's.
Khaleesi, knock it over so I can see it. Khaleesi. I'm kind of worried that you...
Oh, no.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I
think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. I'm not sure.
You're kind of worried that I what?
So, chapter 2 is called The Scar.
I hate when people do shit like that. I'm kind of worried that you're never mind. Anyways.
Let's move on. Let's not talk about it. Ari, you're going to lead us through the chapter today. I've decided.
I am. It's my turn. Oh, I thought we were just going back and forth.
No, we are, but I like to pretend like I have the power of authority here. So my decision today is that you are
such a man. Am I right, guys?
What a man.
God.
Something about covering the mic feels right.
Welcome to this today we're going to be flying from JFK to LAX and about 30,000 feet.
Why do they? And they're always like, we will be landing soon.
They always they take the longest time, as if they have never said it before.
Yes,
they don't know what they're going to say.
No idea what was.
The fasten seatbelts right on. We're going to be coming in for a landing pretty soon. About 30 minutes to go till we land in Las Vegas. Las Vegas's current temperature is about 87 degrees. Fairly dry today. It is the desert, so I guess that makes sense.
Even though I'm the pilot, I have no idea what's going on. So
the aircraft's flying itself at the moment, and I'm pretty tippled because I've had a few drinks.
Thanks for flying Southwest.
Be sure to sign up.
Join us again. Yeah.
Be sure to sign up for our credit card.
Ari, speaking of people that fly, Harry Potter is a person.
Is he? Word's still out on that. This chapter. It's just. I just really don't remember chapters like this, I guess. Like, she really does this every book, huh?
Yeah.
Ari,
just give us a quick summarization. What happens in this chapter?
Is the audience, is the reader, it's really just we're reintroduced to Harry.
Yeah.
But Harry sits in his room and has an existential crisis, essentially.
Yeah. About writing a letter.
It's just like, I have no one to talk to. Who can I go to? Maybe an existential crisis isn't the right term. He's like, might be a little bit of anxiety, like a miniature, like anxiety, an anxious moment, an anxious few minutes of him, like, what is it called when your brain is spinning? He's just like he's spiraling. He's like spiraling about what to do.
Yeah.
And we are witnessing him spiral in his room. Like now I'm thinking of that one meme of the guy just like sitting like, I think it's like this. Like that's Harry in his room.
Yeah.
He's just like sitting on his bed like, and we're watching that happen. Hedwig's not even there to help him out.
Right. Where is Hedwig?
She's out hunting, girl. Hedwig has
She's
her own
flying.
life. Hedwig has a life. She has
Hedwig's
a life partner out there.
Hedwig-
She needs to leave Harry's stupid ass for a while. She's like, this boy has me working too much, having me send these letters all hours of the day and night.
And all I can eat are mice.
Time.
Yeah. What is this?
I want more of her. Can we do like the perspective of these books, but through Hedwig's eyes?
Yeah, some people ask for, can I get the stories told from Hermione's perspective? Some people want to hear, the Marauders' origin story. I think what everybody really wants at the end of the day, though, is just what Hedwig isn't doing while on screen in these books.
Right. Forget the Snape novella. I want a Hedwig novella.
This is Captain Hedwig going to be hooing into the...
No. Once was enough.
Ari, who's Hedwig's favorite band? Hootie and the Blowfish.
Who's Hootie and the Blowfish?
Girl!
Who's Hootie and the Blowfish?
A 90s band. Doesn't matter. Move on. The joke was Hoot. Owl's Hoot.
Yeah, no, I got the joke was Hoot, but I just did not know who the band was. So one of our listeners out there laughed really hard at that joke, Adam.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you so much.
If you laughed at Adam's joke, send us a message.
Sure, write in. This chapter sucks.
It's not the best. It starts with Harry awakening, and he's rubbing his forehead. And was it Friedrich?
Yeah.
Friedrich. Yeah, so Harry awakens, and like right off the bat, I have an issue with something here. We don't get any clarification on what perspective he is seeing this through, and the way that it's worded, he's looking at Voldemort. Like literally the only way that he could have all of a sudden seen Voldemort is if there was a mention of a mirror and he was Voldemort, because he mentions the snake. Yeah, there had been a snake on the hearth rug. There had been a snake on a hearth rug. A small man named Peter, nicknamed Wormtail.
Yeah, who is he watching this from?
Voice. Bitch, we don't know. A cloud, the ether. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I did not.
It has to be the snake or Voldemort's eyes. It's one or the other. He's not just floating in the air.
Right. Because the other thing too is I noticed this, and I didn't see I didn't take note of the snake part. But I did see that it had a description of Voldemort, even though it says like when he turned around, he couldn't actually see him. So I was like, well, it can't. That's why I thought it was Nagini, because you saw Lord Voldemort, but then it also says he watched Frank fall. So then I was like, oh, it's Nagini. But yeah, if he's seeing the snake, unless Nagini is long enough, Nagini could turn around and her snake body's also on the other side of the room, to be fair.
It's just weird that he said, because at first when it was like in a cold, high voice, the voice of Lord Voldemort, I was like, okay, he's seeing it through Voldemort's eyes, but doesn't realize that like what he's, I was like, oh, okay. But then it literally said that he physically saw Voldemort. So I was like,
because he saw the chair turn around.
Yes.
You don't see the chair turn around if you're in the chair, girl.
Right. So I mean, I guess
I'm watching this chair because I'm looking at myself in the camera.
Look at me move my chair.
Ooh.
What is it? 3 and 9.
Yeah,
3 and 9.
Ooh, I gotta turn right, hand over hand.
Yeah, I was annoyed at that right away because I was already thinking about it. Because I just had a feeling somewhere in my memory. I was like, I don't think she clarifies how he's seeing that. And I do think there's a way that she could have done it where it wouldn't have given it away to us. Like she could have found a way to do it. I don't know. So maybe is it the snake? Is that how he's seeing it?
I'm still gonna say the snake because it's the most plausible explanation of the two options, I guess.
Yeah,
it's still
I
not
mean
great, but
that's the only way it would make sense, basically.
Yeah,
because
unless he's just like a floating presence in the room.
No,
but that doesn't make sense because that's what happens when you like go into the memories.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe doesn't know either, clearly.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. But it also could be a mirror. Maybe.
Well, okay, so I had a note
at
the beginning when he like wakes up, he like goes to look at himself in the mirror, and she writes this like a few times in this book series where she says like something about how the one in this chapter is a skinny boy of 14 looked back at him. And the way that sentence is phrased,
it was like he's worried.
Oh no.
I thought he was like worried he was going to see Voldemort in the mirror. Like he's making sure he's still him.
Maybe. I just always read it and the way the sentence is structured, or it like implies that like, I don't know. It's just not like it was like Harry saw himself in the reflection, comma, a skinny boy of 14. Like the way it's like the 14-year-old boy in the mirror looked back at him. And I was like, is there another person in the mirror? Like, why would you write it like that? I don't like that.
That is kind of weird.
It feels very like Black Swan when she's like looking at herself in the mirror and then she like is moving outside of like the mirror is moving and she's not. Yeah.
Oh, spooky. Well, that doesn't happen to Harry. He is rubbing his scar. He's like, oh, what does this mean? Then he's like, is there someone in the house with me? Which like me, anytime I hear a creak. So like, have you ever, when was the last time you woke up from like a nightmare? Like it takes you a couple minutes to like relax. I just had this happen recently. I can't remember what my nightmare was, but like I actively woke up and was like, am I okay? Like, I know that was a dream, but like I'm still in that mindset. So it's like he's reminding himself there's no one in the house minus the Dursleys. And then we just go right into shitting on the Dursleys. Like it's like
immediately. Yeah.
Which like fine. I don't like the Dursleys anyway.
Yeah, they're not great.
What did you call them? Brexiteers.
Brexiteers. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Vernon Dursley is Boris Johnson. And let's say that. Having his...
Oh, wait. The next chapter...
He's on Downing Street and everything.
The next chapter that we're going to get into... Yeah. So, yeah, we get into the Dursleys. We kind of, get into, like, they're muggles. They don't care about Harry. They don't want to know what's going on with Harry. He can't talk to them. And then right into, because Harry is an orphan and his parents are dead. Like, same thing we have to do every book.
Every book.
I would like to point out if someone has a adult woman as a parental figure and an adult man as a parental figure, how would you say?
A mother and father?
Yes, you say mother first.
Does it say father and mother?
It says father, mother. And I'm like, no one says that. Everyone says mother, father, bitch. Everyone says mother, father. Everyone says mom and dad. Everyone says mom and dad. Mommy and daddy. It is never daddy and mommy, dad and mom. It is not
so
ever
annoying.
that. I'm just like, girl,
why is she like this?
I know. I just feel like there's always these clues to her, like, it's so internalized. It's so obvious. Yeah. Harry had been a year old the night that Voldemort, the most powerful dark wizard for a century, It's
arrived
on
at
like
his house and killed his father and mother.
no, and maybe the only thing is maybe she put it that way because James
That's
was
the
killed
order
first.
that he killed them, yeah.
But it's just weird.
And the order in which he kills people does come back in this book, technically. To give her the
That's
benefit of the doubt. To give her the benefit.
That's true. This is what we're doing now. We're giving her the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know. God,
What have we become?
She
so
still
yeah,
sucks.
so
We've taken a break, but Joe Rowling has not taken a break from sucking. So
God,
she still
no.
sucks. Or just
It's
like
just so upsetting.
get off the internet. Just get off the internet.
It's such a, you know what? I was thinking about this today though, because I was
Silence women.
No, don't. No.
Cut that.
I was thinking about this today, that it's just so frustrating because like Harry Potter was such an important part of my life. I think I've said this before, but like when my parents went through a divorce, the books were like a big thing that was like, because everything after once the divorce happened, everything was very different in my life. But like something that was still consistent was that like the Harry Potter books would come out. My mom would read the Harry Potter books to us until we got old enough. And then, I was reading them by myself and stuff like that. But my parents got divorced when I was 9. And when did the last movie come out? Do you remember what year that was? Like literally all through
2011.
Okay. So like through all of that time, that would have been our sophomore year.
It was
end of freshman year.
Yeah.
So before our sophomore year. So like literally from the age of like what, second grade all the way to being 19 or 20. No, 19. This was just something that I looked forward to so much, whether it was the new book coming out, the new movies coming out, whatever it was. And it's just so frustrating that like this is who she is. It makes me so mad because I'm like, now when I think, it's almost like now when I think about stuff that's related to these books and the films and everything, I really like have to separate her from it. And it's like, she's the author. Like, I don't want to feel that way about her, but I do, because I just really I can't agree with someone that thinks that way. And I never would be able to. Like, just like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. But it's such a big part of my life. So it just makes me sad because it's like, which is how so many people feel, Yeah. So I'm glad I'm not alone.
We are obviously not the only Harry Potter podcast out there. There's so many in existence. And almost all of them, anytime she says anything, have to like go on their social media and reiterate that like, we obviously don't support these views. She's a TERF. She's incorrect. These people exist. Their existence should not be like disbelieved simply because you don't like it. Like, and it's so frustrating. I think too, a lot of people in the queer community latched onto these books, not necessarily because of any queer overt narratives, but like the feeling of the fact that you are
being
different.
An outcast. Yeah.
But that there is somewhere that you could get to where everyone is like you. I mean,
you
found family is like a classic queer narrative, and it's frustrating that she just is who she is, and that's truly who she is, and there's no
we have to
that fact.
Admit that that's the truth of the matter.
It's truly easier if you just pretend like J.K. Rowling died in when did the last book come out? 2007. She died in 2007.
Well, that was
really
like
sad.
Well, that was like someone, I remember one time on Instagram was like, someone was sharing something related to the houses, and someone commented and was like, wow, and it's just so magical that like we'll never know where these books came from, And they were like, just like never
they
know
were
who
just
wrote
written
these,
on
but
stone tablets in the Dark Ages. We don't know. It's anonymous.
I am so glad this 20th anniversary thing is the cast.
Yeah.
Because I got teary-eyed when I saw that poster yesterday.
Yeah. Have you
And I
watched the
was like-
trailer?
The trailer, well, yeah, whatever one is like where they just show the people getting the letters. If there's something more,
I don't know. I just
Than
knew
that,
that
I
they
haven't.
were saying that the trailer for it was dropping at some point, but I think it was yesterday. I'm assuming that was
okay.
it then.
I'll have to watch I'll look after this, but I saw the one where it was just like all the cast members getting the letters and
Mhm.
like it was like you're invited. So if there's another one, I haven't seen the more in-depth trailer yet. Teaser 2. I've only seen teaser 1.
I really hope they put them in the looks from the fourth premiere. I just hope they make them wear the exact same. Please see bonus episode number 1 for a dissemination of that time.
I still think Emma looks cute, and I will die on that hill. I like Emma's outfit.
Yeah,
I like Emma's hair.
And
no, you guys are arguing with me about it.
And I'm saying, yeah, that's true for you. And I am saying for me, I would suck the living soul out of Victor King's dick.
Lizzie went, anyways, something I will never understand. The thirst for Victor Crumb.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Hermione and I share that in common.
And Ron, apparently. Ron also had a crush on Victor Crumb. That is my theory.
Sure. By King.
I'm just kidding. I mean, no, yeah, he could be by King, but I don't actually think he was in love with Victor Crumb.
He could be by King or he could be biking.
The character for stupid. The character for sure that I think
is bi
or is gay is like Draco Malfoy. I definitely think he had a crush on Harry. In my mind, I'm like, he did. The way that he acted, I'm just like, you were obsessed with him.
Yeah,
in a way that like there's like an infatuation there.
There's an obsession for sure.
Wild.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, that's it. That's the show.
No. So once we move past Harry's dead parents, once again, book 4, it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
The
then
worst
Harry
part
moves
of
on.
This one is that she goes over like every other book, basically.
Yeah.
Because she's like, LOL, the one time he lost bones in his arms. LOL, the one time he got like a basilisk fang in his arms. LOL, the one time that the whole plot with Sirius happened. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just, I just really must block these chapters out. Like, I really don't remember them. I was reading this and I was like, I just don't even remember any of this.
It's because I just would skim them as a kid. Because I
just,
knew
like,
what she was
as
saying.
you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once we move on from Harry's dead parents, then he thinks about telling Hermione and Ron and what their reactions would be, which I do kind of like this moment because it's like the first time that we've kind of gotten a little introduction into Harry and Hermione and Ron's personalities. Like, I don't think he usually, he's read letters from them, right? That's what she's done in the past.
Yeah.
So maybe, I guess it's like she's trying to cover, all 3 of them a little bit. I don't mind getting to know what like Hermione and Ron's reactions could be. But
did you see how she characterizes Hermione's voice?
Did she say shrill?
She said shrilly.
I just like must not even notice it anymore. It's literally she does it that often.
So she literally is like, Okay, so her Ron descriptor is like, he can imagine Ron's large nose and freckled face. And then it's like, he can hear Hermione's shrill, awful voice. It's like, bitch,
God.
shut up.
Typical annoying, emotional woman.
Yeah. He can hear her crying.
Must have been that time of the month. Am I right?
Am I right, guys?
Terrible. But then when she's, he thinks Hermione would tell him to contact Dumbledore, which contact Dumbledore. That would have saved all of us so much trouble if you would have done that.
I also am fine with him contacting Sirius, which is the end decision he makes too.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm fine with that. But it's just like, Hermione's right. Like, that is the person that is like trying to figure out what's going on because it's connected to Lord Voldemort and all that kind of stuff. It's like, once again, Hermione has it figured out, guys. But, she's a woman, so why listen?
Mm-hmm.
So stupid.
So dumb.
So Hermione would say, tell Dumbledore, and Harry's like, I don't want to do that. And then Ron would say, tell his dad, which brings me to my next question. Ron's dad was a fully qualified wizard.
Yeah, that was such a weird, what does that mean? What does that mean?
I was like, what makes a fully qualified wizard fully qualified?
He passed
what?
his newts? What does that mean?
Graduated from high school?
Which, there's no university, so, does he have
an adult wizard?
It's so bizarre.
An adult wizard with a job.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. And children. But you know what? This is how kids this age see adults. We're like, oh, you have a job?
Adult.
You are an adult. It's like, no, what are you talking about?
I do like when he pictures Dumbledore. He pictures him on the beach.
Yeah.
But also
sunscreen on his crooked nose.
Do you also then have to think about British beaches, which are very pebbly and rocky and not actually beaches? So that's also very funny.
Alice is apparating to Fire Island. Okay, he wants to have a good time
because he's what?
Gay.
He's a gay man, and
we're coming in for a gay man here, and it's gonna be about 30 minutes.
We're coming into Fire Island. That's right, folks. Slide on in there.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that gave me a good laugh. I was like, what? And then we get the little hint or the little reminder. What?
It's even funnier that it's it comes after. He has this whole thing about Dumbledore, but does not think about Dumbledore being a fully qualified wizard.
Albus Dumbledore, the local kook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Arthur Weasley.
Yeah.
The prestigious Arthur Weasley.
So dumb.
So after the fully qualified wizard moment, we get the little reminder that the Quidditch World Cup is something to expect. Because Harry doesn't really know exactly, but Ron mentioned something about the Quidditch World Cup. So Harry's been kind of waiting for that to happen. He's waiting to get his invitation. So we're reminded, because she said that at the end of the third book, which I didn't remember that she said that until we reread it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, okay. So she already knew what she wanted to do. She wanted to do something with that for the next book.
I want to jump back just really quickly. I want to jump back to just the idea. This is very earlier in the chapter, but the idea of him trying to remember the dream. And I feel like I have this all the time where I'll have a dream that is so vivid and then it'll stand up. And the minute I stand up, I loved the imagery of like trying to hold water in his palms as it just like quickly like goes away. I was like, oh, that's such a cool way to describe like
very
like
accurate
trying to keep a dream in your head. That's why you got to write it down. Have a little dream journal next to your bed.
Yeah, Harry, get a dream journal. What are you doing?
Well, he is a parchment and quill. He's not going to make it anyway.
He's not going to make it. You get like one word.
Yeah.
Be like, I don't remember. Yeah. Dream. I don't remember. I had one. It is annoying when that happens though, because you'll be like, wow, I remember every detail of it. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, did I have a dream? I did, huh?
Do you think when they write notes like in the summer to each other that they use parchment and quill?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Yeah. What are we doing? I hate this.
This is a good example of how like the wizarding world needs to update some things.
Just some things.
Just like, come on now. Come on.
You have magic, but you can't even come up with a way for a quill. Why don't you make a quill that can write, not a quick quotes quill, but like a quill.
A ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
Come on.
So stupid.
A ballpoint pen that never runs out of ink. Hello. That's what everyone should be using.
A Pilot G2 0.7 millimeter gel pen is what you're looking for specifically.
Black or blue.
Black or blue only. That's what I use at work.
Only black or blue. So as we said earlier, you know, Harry's kind of spiraling a little bit, and he continues to spiral until he spirals right down to his destination, which is Sirius is the person that he should write a letter to, which like 100%, that makes the most sense. At first I was like, would you really not think of Sirius right away? But I was like, okay, whatever, valid. Like you've literally only known him for like a couple months. But then he does mention that they have been corresponding.
Yeah.
Like already. Like it's not the first letter that he's sent to him. So I was a little like, And then this was literally where I made the note. I was like, she really does this at the beginning of every book. Jesus. Because I was just like, we're still going through Harry had just met Sirius lately because over the last school year, he showed up and we thought he was a murderer, but then he wasn't. And then Peter Pettigrew actually was still alive and he was the murderer, but he got away. So Harry never got to live with Sirius, even though there was a moment where he thought he might. I was just like, okay, girl.
If she had written an 8th book and had to like in one chapter summarize the Battle of Hogwarts.
I'm scared to look at like what happens in the 5th book. Like she has to stop doing it at some point because it's like the series was so well known by the end. She should have just been.
She never does. I don't want to look ahead, but I really want to like glance through.
Yeah, we're gonna find out as we keep going.
Yeah, next year.
I really love the idea of the Dursleys like being terrified of Sirius. I just think it's so funny, and it's just such a good way to like kind of switch things up. Like now it's like, well, Harry's getting older, so the books are, you know, getting a little bit more mature and stuff. So it's like, well, if I'm her, I would be like, well, I want Harry to have more freedom. So like, how can I do that? A great way to do that is that the Dursleys are afraid of Sirius Black coming and like cursing them or getting mad or whatever because he's a murderer.
It is kind of a variation on what she did with Chamber of Secrets, where they were scared because Harry could do magic because they didn't know that he couldn't do magic outside of school. But that was mostly Dudley was afraid of them, and that was only because Hagrid had cursed him.
So they have been corresponding, and Sirius was having letters delivered by very vibrantly colored tropical birds.
Yes, can I show you the illustration?
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like a big black crane basically holding a letter, and Harry's looking at it kind of bemused.
Hey. What's going on? This is just where I'm like, no one notices this. The bird like couldn't fit through his window almost.
Yeah.
Everyone's okay with this?
I guess so. I don't know.
The Dursleys are okay with this just because of Sirius. So I was a
Is
little
he
like,
just sending them at night? But like, how do you
Yeah.
know how long a bird's going to take to get there?
right. And then Harry starts writing the letter to Sirius, kind of explaining what's going on, unrelated to his scar at first, just being like, hey, here's
a
like some cool
checkup.
tidbits about my life. Yeah.
Yeah. Weather's been
Dudley.
great.
Yeah.
Letters
Dudley's not
I
doing
would-
too hot.
When I would write letters to like my grandparents, because they would like winter down in Texas when I was like younger.
Cute.
When
Aw.
my grandma would write back, it constantly it was like always one page, front and back. And the front side was always both the weather for the past week and all of the recent meals that they had. They were like, well, we went down to the hall and they were serving a turkey dinner. So we had that. And then 2 nights ago, we went to Burger King because they have a senior citizens discount there. And then 3 nights ago, I actually made a meatloaf for your grandpa. And I did make mashed potatoes as well and opened a can of green peas and, warmed that up on the stove. Like, it's just...
She was the one that was a cook? Was she a cook or a chef?
No, she just cooked
baker.
for it.
Oh, okay.
She just made food. My grandpa could open a can of beans, and he could open a thing of bread and put that on a plate. That's pretty much about all he could do.
What a wonderful woman your grandmother was. When we're talking about Dudley, and she mentions this, do you know what I'm going to say? She's talking about the diet first off, which like, I'm not going to touch that yet because then the next chapter we're going to get into that. The game that he's
the
playing.
The PlayStation game. Yeah. Massive mayhem and murder. 2.0 kills number 3 or whatever. So
is that what yours is called?
No.
Read me what yours. Oh, okay. I was like,
Mine's
mine
the same as
is.
yours.
Okay. Mine is Mega Mutilation Part 3, which I was just like, I know she's trying to be like these like stupid violent video games, but I'm just like, I really didn't need to hear the words mega mutilation. Joe, like, come on. I was just like, ew. Ugh. I was so mad about it. I was just like, this is me being a highly sensitive person, like 100%, just being like, ick. Did you have to do that?
Yeah. Well, she does love alliteration, so.
I guess. I was like, that's like too much, girl. Come on.
Yeah.
So Harry, after just kind of giving a brief overview of Dudley's woes, tells Sirius that his scar started to hurt. And the last time that happened, it was because Voldemort was near him, which is like the main concern is he's like, but he can't be near me now, right? Like there's no way.
Right.
But he doesn't mention the dream at all. So like something that he could have mentioned that would have been really, really good to know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think you said this last time, you were like, I'm just such a truthful person. Like, me too. And the reason is because I think of shit like this, where I'm like, if I leave out one detail, it might be the missing piece that we need. So it's
we
like,
will finally catch the Golden State Killer. Yeah.
Yeah. We will finally catch Ted Cruz's Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
So that for me, I was like, oh no, mention the dream. Like, I know he doesn't really remember it though. So maybe that's a part of it, but he could have said, I think I had a dream about it. And then that's it. That's the chapter.
Even at the very least, he remembered that he had a dream in which he was like watching Voldemort, which could have given a clue. It's just,
and Pettigrew was there.
That this boy in magic school continues to believe things that things don't mean anything. Like this, the boy who like is continuously surprised that things have meaning, and I'm like, how?
Talk to snakes. The boy who could speak to snakes.
But it's also weird because are you supposed to see? Are we just seeing the first chapter from Frank's perspective, and that's not? He's seeing. I want to know what Voldemort and Nagini were saying to each other, but also like, it's pretty much implied that Nagini just comes in and is like, hey, there's a muggle in the doorway. I don't know if you knew. I guess.
Bitch, I'm back. There's a guy out there.
Hey, y'all. I'm back. Boo Sun Quan.
Boo San Quan.
Yeah. That wraps up this chapter. Next week, we'll be reading chapter 3 called The Invitation. Ari, we have a review.
Oh, I can't wait. Read it to me.
It is from Bree_Anda. So I'm assuming it's
Brianda.
And it's titled Finally. It's a 5-star review. She says, I have looked for an HP podcast for so long and have finally found one I enjoy. I discovered you guys a few weeks ago, and after multiple threats, I'm here to leave my 5 stars. I truly crack up with every episode, and I enjoy all of your insights. I'll randomly play any of the movies, depending which I'm in the mood for it to play in the background while I'm home alone. It's as if I crave anything HP related. Can't wait for book 4, one of my favorites. Brianda,
here we are, honey.
Thank you so much.
Book 4.
That was very sweet. Thank you so much. We love hearing what you guys think. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you find your podcasts. And as always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so that we can get a perfect Newt score. 5 stars only, or else you'll have to play Mega Mutilation Part 3. Like
you don't
Dudley.
Want to, trust me.
You don't want to. Ooh, spooky. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at HBAnxious, Instagram at HBAnxious, and YouTube at The Ampliverse. We are hosted on Anchor and recorded on Zencastr, so thank you to the both of them, and are a proud member of The Ampliverse. Check them out at theampliverse.com. Thank you, Ari.
You are welcome, Adam. Thank you.
And as always,
Knox. We're going to plan for a Knox landing here.
It's going to be a Knox, I think.
And don't forget to sign up for our credit card. Thank you. Have a good rest of your flight.